central bank has appointed Jessica Chew Cheng Lian as Deputy Governor. She takes over from Dr Sukhdev Singh, who decided to relinquish the position after 31 years of service. He is the second Deputy Governor to have stepped down since Governor Muhammad Ibrahim took over the office in May last year. Former Deputy Governor Nur Samsia Muhammad Yunus too did not stay on when her term ended in November last year. In a statement today, Bank Negara said the Minister of Finance has approved the appointment of Chew as Deputy Governor. Her 3-year term will be effective starting January 1st, 2018. As Deputy Governor, she will be responsible for the financial sector's regulation and development, including payment systems, organizational development sector, and centralized shared services. Chew is a member of the Monetary Policy Committee and the Financial Stability Committee. Currently, she is the Assistant Governor in charge of the development of regulations and policies in the banking and insurance sectors. Her job scope also covers payment systems development and regulation and oversight of the money services business. CIMB Group reported an 11% increase in its third quarter earnings thanks to higher interest and non-interest income as well as higher Islamic banking income. Net profit rose to 1.13 billion ringgit from 1.02 billion ringgit previously. Revenue rose 7.2%, up from 4.12 billion ringgit last year to 4.42 billion. Group CEO Zafrul Aziz says the group achieved a record quarterly operating income, particularly due to its consumer banking franchise in Malaysia and Thailand, as well as investment and corporate banking activities. He believes the bank is on track to meet its key financial targets for 2017. Still, he says that whilst the trajectory of regional economies is generally positive and capital market activity is picking up gradually, the group remains cautiously optimistic on its outlook and is mindful of keeping tight controls over asset quality and costs across all businesses. Bank reported lower earnings for its second quarter this year due to higher net impairments and interest expense. Net profit stood at 331.46 million ringgit. That's a 6% drop from last year's 352.62 million ringgit. Revenue, however, inched up by 1.2% from 2.1 billion ringgit to 2.12 billion ringgit. It declared an interim dividend of 5 cents a share. For the second half of its fiscal year, Group CEO Sulaiman Muhammad Tahir expects non-interest income to continue its steady growth, driven by wealth management, cards and corporate banking. However, he expects non-interest income from investment banking and money market activities to be lumpy. MSPB and Gomorrah have partnered up to bid for the role of Project Delivery Partner or PDP for the KL-Singapore High-Speed Rail project. Both parties have entered into an agreement today to set up an unincorporated consortium of a 50-50 basis to participate in the tender. In a Bursa filing, MSPB said upon securing the tender, the parties shall enter into a definitive agreement to further set out the rights and obligation of each party in relation to the project. The PDP tender was called upon by MyHSR Corp on November 22nd. In an earlier report, CIMB Research saw Gomorrah as a strong contender, as it is the only local contractor with the relevant experience and skill set to manage a massive rail project. Gomorrah was the PDP for MRT projects, while MRCB was appointed PDP of LRT3 with George Ken 2 years ago. Sime Darby Property is expecting a recovery in the property market in the coming years after a challenging environment that has dragged on since 2013. The soon-to-be-listed firm said in its prospectus today that the recovery will be underpinned by the solid socio-economic fundamentals, such as higher population and stable GDP growth between 4.5% to 5% from 2017 to 2021. This optimism comes amid talk of a possible crash in 2018 and after Putrajaya decided to freeze all luxury property development to curb the supply glut. Opposition lawmaker Tony Phua isn't as bullish. In fact, he is blaming GLC-controlled listed firms like CIMB Darby, SP Satya and PNB for causing the supply-demand imbalances with their mega projects. Phua believes that without recognizing and reviewing the role of the government, GLCs and GLICs, no policy prescription will be effective or successful. He also questions if the government will be granting ban exemptions to all these GLCs projects as it has done for TRX and Bandar Malaysia.